going on, my tacticians, and welcome to another tactical analysis. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but in any case, I've been requested to do a tactical analysis of Brianna versus Mistress Kat and seeing how I could improve Brianna's gameplay. So let's get into it. Alright, starting off, Brianna is going for a Talonflame and Kartana lead, so that's a pretty good lead right off the bat. And her opponent, Mistress Kat, is going for a Clefable and Chandelure strategy. So, let's see what you do first. Alright, your opponent decides to swap out the Clefable for Wheezing. Ooh, look at those shinies. Everyone loves shiny Pokemon. And you start off with the Tailwind, so that's a pretty good strategy, though you probably should not have gone for the Tailwind, especially if your opponent is going for a lot of slow Pokemon. So this was a bit of a risk, taking this Fire Blast. I mean, honestly, you didn't need to go for the pure offensive Tailwind strat. If your opponent had gone for the Trick Room, you would be in real trouble. But at the same time, your opponent doesn't really have Trick Room Pokemon besides the Chandelure, so all in all, that was a pretty good move. Now, going into this Brave Bird into the Chandelure is also effective. Recognizing the really strong attack or really dangerous Pokemon is perfect, but you should have doubled down into the Chandelure. Just in case, because if your opponent hadn't gone for the swap out and just gone for the straight up attack, you would have lost your Kartana. But so doubling down into what you consider the threat, which in this case is the Chandelure, is probably would have been your best bet. Now going into your Tornadus, going for the knockoff, that's perfectly good. That's a really good knockoff into the Chandelure. But again, doubling down into the Chandelure would have been better. Now, this Flare Blitz into Clefable, that's perfectly... I'm not saying you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're doing everything right, but I'm trying to figure out how best you could improve your strategy right now. So, actually, let's go back one turn. Let's go back one turn. Just a quick one turn, seeing what here. Let's see what we can. Okay, so let's see. It's this turn. So this is the turn where you go for the knockoff into the Chandelure. So why knockoff? I mean, of all moves, why'd you give knockoff to your Tornadus? I mean, don't get me wrong, it works, but it worked right here. But why knockoff? I mean, I guess maybe you're running a physical Tornadus, perhaps a mixed Tornadus? If so, then maybe you consider using his Prankster ability. Alright, so now you got the opponent with the Rhydon out. So now you're going in for the knockoff again onto the Rhydon. So trying to learn... So you're definitely making good use of your Pokemon and your moves. You're recognizing the real threat. The Eviolite Rhydon is definitely something. Good luck there with the burn. Yeah, definitely a good luck with the burn. Oh, that's interesting. Using the berry on the Talonflame. I mean, I run Flying MZ Talonflame, but then again, most people who I run Talonflame against tend to just blow me up. But everyone has their own choices. And your opponent goes with the Swords Dance, so this would have been a real good use of, your Prankster ability. But the Heat Wave, definitely not the best you could have done with the Heat Wave. I mean, I think you could have done something better, but I think you're trying to go for the burn. If I'm correct, you're trying to go for the burn damage to shut down the Rhydon and that Swords Dance boost. Now, you've knocked out the Clefable. That is a good strategy right there. That is, or not a good strategy, but that's a good move. Unfortunately, well, Oh, this is where, again, doubling down. You should have really recognized the threat there. The Rhydon is the threat. And if you're going to try to, not, or burn it or deal damage to it, doubling down would have been your best bet. Alright, so now you've got Tapu Lele and your Garchomp out, and Mr. Kat sends in safety the Scizors. So let's see what you decide to do here. You're down to 3 Pokemon to 4. And now you've got a Mega Scizor on the field. Okay, that's definitely bad news. That's definitely bad news bear for you. So once again, why'd you go for the Earthquake there? That's not the best move you could have done. I mean, granted it worked, but you did a lot of damage to your Lele just to get rid of the Rhydon. And, well, you gave your opponent a free roost, so that's not good. Okay, definitely gotta watch your moves there. Alright, setting up the Swords Dance, that is a definite good move, but oh my goodness, you took some really big risk. You took a big risk with that Earthquake. If you had crit your own Lele, you would have knocked her out. Alright, and well, there goes Lele. Alright, Scald, can you avoid the burn? No, you can't, so that Swords Dance pretty much evened up your attack stat, but oh, that is really bad news for you. Yeah, if you're gonna run Life Orb Tapu Lele, running Protect for that situation probably would have been your best bet. Also, switching into your Salamence. If you're gonna go for the Earthquake, switch into your Salamence, because, it's gonna resist the attack. It's gonna, be immune to it because it's flying. So you could have, you would have gotten the Intimidate off and decreased the opponent's attack stats, and, you would have done free damage, and your opponent wouldn't have been able to retaliate back as hard as they did. So definitely got to learn to swap in your Pokemon there. Alright, now you're going into the Double Edge, into the Weezing. Weezing is going to go down like a sack of rocks. Down goes Weezing. And your Salamence is going to take some damage. Now the Fire Fang, that's definitely going to catch our opponent off guard. But that burn is definitely is ruining your day. So the Rough Skin Fire Fang combo definitely going to work there. Now, if I remember correct, all they have is... Okay, yeah, you've got this in the bag now. So, there's the Earthquake. Why are you using Earthquake? I mean, I know it gets the job done, but that's a huge risk. You could have knocked your own Pokemon out. Alright, well, you won the battle. That is good, so definitely good there. That's good. Alright. So one thing I've noticed about your playstyle, you take huge risks with your Pokemon. Especially your moves. You're using moves that, while they deal damage to the opponent, you're not protecting yourself at all against them. I mean, it may have gotten the job done there, but you took huge risks. You could have knocked yourself out just as easily as the opponent. Even more so yourself. Because your opponent had more HP at times than you did. And you used yeah, basically that's the only thing I can see to improve your playstyle. I mean, given you were using a bunch of, pseudo-legendary and legendary Pokemon and Ultra Beasts against this not really pseudo-legendary, legendary team and so on. But you destroyed yourself more than the opponent did destroy you. I mean, let's see, you used Garchomp Earthquake, you almost knocked your Tapu Lele out, and then the Life Orb damage almost put put it in the red zone. So that's one big risk there. You used your Earthquake again with the Salamence, almost knocking your Garchomp out, giving your opponent a chance to come back with a double attack into your Salamence. Yeah, you took some big risks. Brianna. But all in all, you had a good strategy. It was, carefully planned. I don't think it was carefully planned out, but you definitely had a good strategy. And what I would recommend, try to protect yourself better. If you're gonna go for an Earthquake and you don't have the confidence that you can survive a critical hit for your own Pokemon, and I mean this seriously, if you can't survive a critical hit from your own Pokemon, don't stay in with that Pokemon, especially if you're gonna use the Earthquake. So if you're gonna switch into any Pokemon, switch into a Pokemon that's immune to Earthquake. Like that Salamence play I said, if you had swapped into your Salamence, you would have gotten the Earthquake damage off, you would have weakened your opponent's attack stats, you could have done all that for free. And you would have done that without risking damage to your own Pokemon. So that's one way you could have done it. And if you're gonna run Earthquake on multiple Pokemon, in particular your Salamence as well, I would recommend running Protect on one or two of your other Pokemon, such as your Garchomp. If you're gonna run Garchomp, maybe consider running Protect in place of the Swords Dance, or run, instead of Fire Fang, run Protect as well. I mean, it worked right there, but there may come a time when you don't need the Fire Fang damage and you just need to be able to survive a turn, just to be able to keep going for another turn. But all in all, my only recommendation, take less risks. Taking riskier plays may give you, bigger payoff, but they can bite you back. They can really bite you in the back when all things considered. Eventually, they're gonna bite you. And when it happens, it's gonna cost you big time. So, in any case, this has been Tactical Analysis. I am Imperator W, your Fidel Russian, and I will see you all legends next time. Bye-bye.